Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is Frank the Vamp, and we're continuing as promised with The Walking Dead. This time we're going into Season 2 of The Walking Dead. If you haven't seen my review of Season 1, I recommend you check that out first. Pause this one, go back to the first one, watch it, see what you think about it, come back to the second one. If you've seen it, cool. You're where you need to be. So let's talk about it. I'm sorry I don't much show graphics here, and I realize that maybe I should show more. So this is the box art here from season 2. This is the Latin American version. It's in English but with Spanish subtitles. But this is what the box art for the Latin American version of The Walking Dead looks like. There's many discs included. I think every one of these I think holds 2 discs, I believe. That's how it looks. You guys were wondering. I think it looks very similar to the American version of it. But anyhow, so we're not gonna talk too much about the actual setup of the thing like we did on the first video, and talk about who plays who. We're mostly gonna concentrate on talking about the plot and character development. That's what I want to see. So without further ado, just say that this show by season 2 it's hitting its stride. Season 1 was so short, but it was so impactful. The ending of it, going into the CDC and in shocking, explosive ending. You definitely is an impactful, awesome ending. You just need to see for yourself, and it's set up perfectly the beginning of season 2. So we see Rick still leading the pack. Of course, Rick Grimes still played by Andrew Lincoln, and the former police officer here, still leading the pack, and they all together decide that they need to get out of it and go somewhere else. They take the highway, and in the highway they meet up this gigantic mass pile of vehicles. I-85, I think it's the highway, and then they find out that there's a large horde of walkers coming in, and they're forced to hide. They get attacked by pretty much surprise, and there's just too many of them, so they have to stay quiet. In that, unfortunately, they do lose a team member, which kind of like panics and starts running, which is Sophia, which is Carol's daughter, and basically the plot follows of looking for Sophia, and in the process, many other things happen. We're not going to talk about what happens to Sophia. I'm going to leave that up to you. But I'm going to tell you that this is it's really hard to see, and without, and it's really, when you see like a little kid missing and stuff, changes. Sophia, I think, is only 10 years old. It kind of hits you, so it kind of gets a little bit emotional here. So the search is very important, and it hits team members especially hard. Rick, because Rick feels responsible. Rick tries to save her and tries to lead some workers away from her, but what happens is that Sophia can't stay put. I think she panics and runs off, and we'll see what happens to Sophia. But it's just tough to see her not there, and with a little kid, and in the process of that, another little kid here, which is the son of Rick, which is played by Chandler Griggs, is Carl. So Carl, accidentally gets shot by a hunter that's hunting deer, and that, on its own, just like panics. The hunter panics and says that they have to take it to a nearby barn where the search for Sophia has to be put on hold, And then in that barn, then there's this old man that it's a doctor that's supposed to help, uh, you know, um, Carl survive. And it's really really great. And the whole setup, what happens on the farm is really really cool. I like some new characters introduced. Um, the character of Herschel, which is the which is the doctor here, doctor. You'll see why. And he's also the owner of the ranch or farm. He especially plays a really good role. Um, there's Emily, the daughter, that may have a new romantic encounter with Glenn, and we get a small spoiler, but we get a little flashback, weird daydream moment by Michael Rooker as Merle. So Merle gets in there for just a little bit, and basically that's where I'm gonna leave the story part. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not. This is not my intention. Is that you watch the show because the show is so wonderful. By the way, The Walking Dead gets a A+. It's the perfect TV series for today's times. I'm glad it's bringing back the zombie genre, true recognition, worldwide recognition, and it's definitely awesome. The I love the special effects, the kills, the zombie kills, killing walkers is getting more intense. Um, the the guys are trying to learn how to do better, learn how to shoot, learn how to combat, not just leave the main protectors, which is Carl and Shayne, to do all the killing. Um, Now let's just talk about what I want to do with the rest of this video time. Just talk about character development, because I'm not going to talk about the story no more. Andrew Lincoln, awesome, but the way he's portraying his Rick, I think the pressure's starting to get to him. There's a few twists and turns that are gonna make um, Rick, make some hard choices and do some things that he may not be able to take back. And he gets tougher, meaner, and main thing, which is gonna become a trend, you're gonna find out that the humans that are the survivors could be just as menacing, if not more, than the actual walkers. So, which is a great social commentary. It says, who is worse, a human in need or a true monster, or who's the true monster here? Rick has to make some hard choices, and I love the way Andrew Lincoln, one of my favorite actors in the series. Now, John Bernthal, who plays Shayne, this guy is letting his true colors fly. He is very confused. Sometimes, he's sweet on Rick's wife, played by Sarah Wayne Callies, which is Lori Grimes, and Shayne is just going crazy. Literally, he's just there's a lot of pressure put onto him. He's the type of, like, he wants to fight for survival for himself and the ones he loves, but the other part of the group, POS, man. You know what a POS is? Nothing, man. That's what it's worth to Shayne. And Shayne's true colors are starting to fly, So if it wasn't the first season and the second season, you realize he's a real a-hole, and you wouldn't trust him for nothing. You wouldn't turn your back on Shayne, and he excellent, by John Bernthal, excellent as a villain here. Not likable at all. He shouldn't be. Now, Sarah Winkle's, Laurie, I think it's playing a little bit with Shayne's heart there and head. I don't like her. I said it on season 1. Um, I think that she loves Rick, but she's one of those persons that just kind of like survives and moves on really, really quickly. Um, I have my issues with her, and there's some things that are gonna happen in the series that are gonna make it even more worse here. So, not a fan of Lori. Now, Laurie Holden is Andrea. Andrea's another character that kind of drives me nuts a little bit, but she is much more. After what happened to her on season one with her sister, she's, more gritty. No more damsel in distress crap. She wants to take charge. So I kind of like her better in season two, I can say. Um, Now, Jeffrey DeMond, great as Dale, the voice of reason. There's some things that are going to happen with that, which are really, really cool. Uh, Not going to say anything about him because you really should watch his acting on season two. Because there's something going to happen, and I want you to see it without me telling you. We also, I can't. Stephen Yeun, Glenn is being developed as a more developed character, having a love interest. Awesome. I think that just being the dumb little kid who runs around doing things like that for them, that time is over. Saying something. Carl, also the little kid, may get a bigger responsibility. And Norman Reedus, man, huge fan. His development is awesome. His interaction with Merle in a little stream sequence, really cool. But what I like best about him is his interest in saving the little girl Sophia. He takes it personal. He makes something, heartbreaking, heart-wrecking decisions that he has to make. And Melissa McBride, fine as Carol. Uh, I always find her character to be very sad. Every time I look at her, I mean, first of all, she's got an a-hole husband, and now, Sophia runs away. It's not good. It doesn't look good for her. But she does a fine job. Um, Aaron E. Singleton's T-Dog. T-Dog's the man. Um, Watch T-Dog, man. I really like his character. Um, what else? Like I said, I already talked about Herschel. One of the new characters. Um, Let me see. There's few things I want to mention about some of the highlights of this. The writing gets much better. It's really interesting. The climax is super fantastic. The setup, it's awesome. What happens at the ranch is unbelievable. You don't expect it in a million years. I just recommend you watch The Walking Dead, man. Like I said, some highlights of the series are that I I really, I guess I can say about one of the things that I really like is that little cameo by Merle, Michael Rooker. Oh man, he's awesome. Every time I see him, it's just that a-hole you just love to hate. And I like, so this is like season two to me. It's like season of the bad guys. Like you need to know, you need to. Uh, you see Shayne coming to his own as a real a-hole, and the way he is, and he shows his true colors. So really great, great things. What else can I say? Other than go buy the DVD if you haven't seen them. If you have Netflix, rent them, or any other, video service. Um, it's worth it. I already purchased season two, purchased season three, and I think I pre-ordered season four. So how big of a fan I am. I'm a foreign movie guy, but I just love. The Walking Dead is my guilty pleasure, one of my biggest guilty pleasures. Hope you enjoy yourself. Enjoy my video. If you did, like. If you did not, tell me why. So, God bless you. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Ta-da.